You're live.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Woodlands Yoga Studio. My name is Dr. Lauren Sporer. You can just call me Lauren, but most people at the studio call me Dr. Lauren, and this is going to be part of this core balance class. So I will not lie to you, I am not a yoga instructor, I'm a chiropractor. So this is going to be all about rehab and ways that you can enhance your practice. A lot about biomechanics, a lot about hip mobility, obviously core stuff and all that good stuff to avoid injury, or if you are injured, help you recover from that injury, or also just, enhance your practice, like I said, and hopefully manage some of the weak areas, strengthen some of those areas, all that good stuff. So first things first, I hope you all are well. As we're going through, I'm going to talk to you a lot. My classes are generally very educational. I like to teach a lot. We talk a lot about health and wellness and biomechanics, and obviously we are going to talk about things related to what's going on now. So first things first, if you have a foam roller at home, these are wonderful. If you do not, I think Amazon is still shipping. Otherwise, honestly, a PVC pipe works well, or something that has a pretty hard center. If you can give it the smush test, you want it to give it just a little bit of a squeeze, okay? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that roller about mid-back, and I generally, for now, we're not gonna go below ribs, okay? I am a bit pregnant, so you're gonna see I'm gonna modify things as needed. You do what you need to do as you are rolling. But first, we're gonna arch over. You'll hear some clicks and pops. That's totally normal. That's sort of mimicking a chiropractic adjustment, which is great. And we just move that roller all the way up, rocking up the spine, keeping those hips down. And now we're gonna keep the tummy tight. Elbows are gonna stay together. And we're gonna roll in between those shoulder blades. And what you wanna do with the roller is, conceptually, kind of think about rolling dough. That's not exactly what's happening. Really what we're doing is we're loosening tissue, working on tension release, okay, and helping to regulate pain. But you wanna think about finding areas that are a little tender or a little sticky or feel like they've got some bumps into them, and if you can, stay on them till they go away. So we're just gonna breathe through a couple of good spots in here, hold as you need to. And now we're gonna go to lat and teres area. So for any of you that have neck tension, a lot of us have that tension in the neck and traps. Has many reasons for that, but a great way to relieve some of that is to release in here. So we're gonna keep that thumb up, and we're gonna roll back and forth. So a lot of times I talk about, you wanna think about your muscles as three-dimensional. And so we are going to release in those tissues, even though these tissues are generally going more up and down, and we're getting into the rotator cuff too. The cross friction is actually quite nice. Now you might be getting some doorbells, okay, which are kind of some of those trigger points that go down the arm. It's not a nerve, but it will feel like it. But we're just gonna roll, release, go a little bit lower towards that kind of the bra line area. Very good. And you do this on both sides. Okay, so let's get that other side real quick. So foam rolling, generally I tell people if you take care of your soft tissues, they will take care of you. This is an awesome way to start your yoga practice, and with your yoga practice, we're just, again, kind of warming up those soft tissues, helping to release areas that feel tight or tender, which in turn will help your flexibility and your mobility because we're loosening up that fascia. And you can get a little bit in that tricep too. Excellent. Okay, now we're gonna move to lower body. So we are, sit on that roller, lean on back, cross one leg over the other if you can. We are going to seek and destroy. So if an area feels good, great, move on. We don't need to stay on it too much. If you find some spots that don't feel so good, usually say if they give you a pirate eye, which is kind of the like, ooh, that hurts so good. Stay on them till you go away, or till they go away, and that might take some time. You can go back and forth, again, up and down, but we're getting all of those external rotators. Many of you are familiar with piriformis. If you are someone who has sciatica-like symptoms, hip issues, low back pain, all that kind of stuff, this is one of the areas that you want to roll in every day if you can, or at least maybe every other day. Good, let's get the other side. So we're just releasing around the sacrum. We're gonna warm everything up before we get into hip mobility, before we get into a flow. And then we will do quite a few core things today, and I always throw in some glute strengthening, some glute rehab, as that has a lot to do with our core and it has a lot to do with our injury prevention, just adding a good practice or adding a good well-rounded practice to your yoga practice. Excellent. Okay, side of the hip, no one likes this. So this is your TFL, or your tensor fascia lata. It is a muscle, think of going from front pocket to the back pocket. Okay, so we're rolling right above the hip bone. So the boniest part of your hip we are going to avoid. We're gonna go right above it and all the way up on your iliac crest. So basically until you run out of bone, until you would pretty much go into your flank, okay? So very, very tender area for a lot of people, especially if any of you are runners. This is an area that connects with your IT band. We will never roll your IT band, which is the racing stripe on the side of the leg. That tissue doesn't contract, so there's no point in rolling it unless you really like pain. But we're gonna roll around it. And so this, your TFL, controls your IT band. So this is an area that generally on most of us is very sore, has a lot to do with low back pain, knee pain, hip pain. So this is an area that you wanna try to roll as much as you can, well, when you're rolling, okay? So we're gonna get both sides on there. Feel free to play. If you're brand new to rolling, no big deal. Feel free to play around. There's not really a magic trick. There's just some areas we avoid, like the IT band, bony surfaces. It will get better. A lot of times if it's your first time rolling, it's a little painful. The softer the roller, the less painful it will be. But you just don't want it to smush too much if that roller is too soft. But it will start to feel good, where you will really like to roll as a warm-up or a cool-down, and it helps with soreness. Very good. Okay, we're gonna go to the quads, okay? So we roll to the tummy, elbows down. Keep that tummy a little bit tight so we've got a little bit of flat in the back. Now your quads are a very large area, so we wanna get kind of the inside, the outside, that whole area. So first, I'm not gonna go up and down very long, but I kinda like to see where am I sore. I know for me, and for most of us, it's gonna be this outside quad. So I'm gonna lean to one side, I'm gonna pin and trap. So I'm gonna bend and extend, staying in the same spot, taking about 3 to 5 passes, trying to release that area. When I feel like I've got a better range of motion there, then I'm gonna go back and forth. So kind of think, we'll talk a lot about clocks today, movement clocks. So you want to think kind of north-south, east-west, pinning and trapping, feeling that tissue release, going from more bottom towards the knee, more up towards the hip, and the leg can be straight or bent. Now depending on how tender this is for you, you can change and modify as needed, right? You could just kind of hang out and just go up and down, or you can really try to search for those areas that are very tender. Very good. Okay. Inner groin. Again, not a favorite. So I'm going to take the roller. We're going to kind of put this at more of an up and down, a little bit of a diagonal. I'm going to go on my elbow. I'm going to hook my leg over so I'm right on the inner thigh. Okay, these are your adductors. These are very, very strong muscles. You put as much pressure as you need, and we're going to follow the same concept that we did with the quad. So I'm going to start leg straight. As you see, my foot is going to be rotating, so I'm going to kind of rotate the toe down or up, depending on what part of my quad or the adductors I want to release. And then when I find a really good spot, pin and trap, pin and trap. So we bend, we extend, flex and straighten. Okay, great to release for low back pain, for knee pain. Again, it's kind of, your body's obviously got a global movement system to it, right? So we want to hit all these areas, but these especially are some areas that we ignore a lot because many of us are probably not rolling our groin or our adductors on a daily basis. So try this out. If this is something that's new to you, see how it helps with your pain, your mobility, your flexibility, and it will be something you can incorporate and do in about 5 minutes. toe can go down or up. Some of these areas will be pretty tender, and that's okay. Very good. Okay, now hamstrings and calves, they don't work as well on here, but you can do them, okay? Actually, I think what works best is more of a softball size for the hamstrings. It could actually be a softball or a baseball. And then for the calves, I really like tennis balls, lacrosse balls. Even for the foot, I'd go more the size of a golf ball. So you kind of want to match the body part with the size of the torture device is usually what I say. So if you wanted to, okay, we could roll like this. You could either do one leg at a time or both. You won't get a ton of compression on here, a ton of release, but it's better than nothing. So that's what the hamstrings would look like. And then the same thing with the calves. Just have to have a little more balance. So if you want, you can lift yourself up. That's a lot of work. If you want, put one foot down. And then it would be using that foot, using that knee to bend, glide, better than nothing, absolutely. If you have Achilles issues, if you have plantar fasciitis, all that kind of stuff, we need to be rolling in here. Shin splints if you're a runner. These are areas that you need to release. And then don't forget that side to side. That part is really, really important. Perfect. Okay, we are going to get into, roller's gonna go to the side. We are gonna get into a little bit of a movement flow. Now, if any of you have wrist pain, a simple trick, and it's not a correction, but it is a good trick, just get some athletic tape or KT tape, kinesio tape, put one wrap around the wrist temporarily. If it helps you get through class, a little bit of compression sometimes helps, and that way you can get further into your practice. Ultimately, if you're having wrist pain, there's a lot of reasons for that too. We've got 8 tiny little bones in here and a lot of tissue, but check your range of motion very simply by doing this. We need to have about 90 degrees, right? A good right angle here. If your wrists naturally are here, then it makes sense that we're getting a lot of compression here, because as we do yoga or as we do anything that's hands down on the floor, you're creating that compression there. If you don't have it naturally, it's gonna hurt as you do and practice yoga. So that's something then that you need to work on with stretching and releasing to gain that range of motion so we're not causing irritation on those joints. So we're gonna start with some cat-cows for me. Go ahead and warm up that spine. You will see me take these movements, not solely just as they are, but I really want to create some space between the hips and the lower ribs. And we're going to push it into a down dog. Again, explore that space, release those calves, try to stretch the sit bones towards the ceiling. I like to wiggle these hips side to side, get a good stretch in the lat. And if you were able, lift a leg, get the hamstrings. Good. And let's take a deep breath forward, or inhale. Rock it forward into high plank for me. Keep those tummy stays tight. You can drop to the knees or stay in the feet if you need to. Lower into chaturanga. And then back up into cobra or sphinx. Long shoulders here. So elbows would be a little bit of less tension on the stomach. Feel free to add some rotation gently between the shoulder blades, keeping those hips where they are. Good. We're going to do one more cycle here. Very good. All right, if you can, arms out into a T or a Y position for me on your mat. Roll to one half of your body. Let that upper leg fall and the arm can follow. Back to center. And same thing on the other side. child's pose for me. For thread the needle, one arm swoop under the other shoulder. Very good, release. Same thing on the other side. Good, release. Deep breath, let's push it into a down dog for me. Inhale, rock it forward, high plank, keep that tummy tight, one leg comes forward, high lunge, same arm, rotates up towards the ceiling. Good, arm comes down, leg goes back, down dog. Inhale, rock it forward, high plank, tight tummy, other leg comes forward, same arm rotates up towards the ceiling. Good, leg comes down. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit of hip mobility and then get into some ab stuff. So, where you are, we're gonna sit into a 90-90 position. We're cheerleader. Tummy stays tall and tight. We're gonna think of this as a clock. We're gonna lean forward, going from more of the front of the foot towards the back of the hip. This is our modification and our warm-up before we get into pigeon. So we're just working on external rotation on that front leg. And as we build flexibility, we also want to build strength. So we're going to add a challenge here of lifting that front leg. So tummy stays tight. Try not to shift as much as you can. Hands down if you need it. And we're going to lift the front leg off the mat. Here we go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hands on hips if you can. Tight tummy. Lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. One more, tight tummy, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Back leg, we're gonna work internal rotation. So this muscle right here, I need you to engage and squeeze. Knee stays on the ground, heel comes off the ground. Lift and hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You might cramp a little bit, totally normal. Engage, lift the foot, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, and one more. Lift and hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, hips are warm. Over, up and over with those hips, back leg goes straight and pigeon. You can stay tall or down in the elbows, whatever you prefer. If you're watching online, we'd love to know where you are watching from. Are you in Texas? Are you in the Houston area? How did you hear about us? And what are you doing to stay healthy during these very fun and new interesting days? Good. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So 90-90, sitting in that cheerleader position. Open those feet from the knees, tall chest. We start with our clock. So chest stays tall, rotating from front of the hip towards the back of the hip. As we are going through these times, remember to get as much sleep as you can, right? Just simple health tips. Obviously washing those hands, we've heard of that a million times, right? But really increasing your sleep, lots of fruits and veggies, lots of water. Try to get half your body weight in ounces of water a day if you can. Keep your exercise up if you can get outside and take a walk away from people. That'd be a great thing. We're gonna lift that front leg, tight tummy. Here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Lift and hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll probably have one side that feels a little more natural and stronger than the other. Tight tummy, lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Back leg, engage, lift the heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 2 more. Squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 1 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Square those hips, straighten that back leg, and pigeon. Remember, exercise boosts your immunity, so the best thing you can do is move, get some lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage just get your swelling out, right? The only way we get our lymph nodes to work is through muscle contraction. So some form of exercise, walking, yoga on a daily basis is going to help to flush and get those blood cells where they need to be and get that lymphatic drainage. Keep those lungs working, your respiratory support, all that good stuff. So hopefully you are a little warm by now and pretty mobile. We're going to start with, we've got about 10 minutes total left. So the last 10 minutes are going to be a little bit harder. We're going to do about 5 minutes of abs, about 5 minutes of legs, something like that, okay? Until we get tired and then the class will be over. So we're going to start with some good core strengthening, okay? Just so we go over some basics. Really your core is kind of from the top of the bottom of your shin all the way down to your pelvic floor. So we need to make sure that our whole body is supporting that cylinder and that we're trying to pressurize. So it is not a drawing in that does engage one of your muscles. We want to engage the whole thing. Think of a natural corset. So it's more of a flex, of a squeeze, of a brace, almost like if you were to cough and you feel those muscles, kind of like a bearing down, but it's a stiffness that we want to create while we're able to breathe and still use our diaphragm. So we're going to start on the side in a modified side plank. First of all, let's talk about your shoulder. A lot of us, when we do side plank or side bridges, we feel a lot of, basically like all our support is in our deltoid. We want it to be in your entire spine. This is going to be stronger, okay? So we're going to first find our shoulder clock, which you want to be somewhere in the middle, okay? Not at either end of either extreme, but somewhere in the middle. Now I'm going to make my shoulder kind of go where it sits best in my rib cage. So it's not out here, but it's down in here, and I'm giving myself a little squeeze and support right here in that area that we rolled. So now I feel good strength in my thoracic spine and in my rib cage. Our hips are going to be bent. We're gonna go from, technically you can do this from your feet or from your knees, but we're gonna add a hip hinge. So we're gonna lift and hold. When I lift and hold, I'm in line, my butt is squeezed. That's the bottom of my pelvic floor. I'm tight in here, and then we're gonna lift the leg and go for holds, okay? So our goal is we're gonna do, I'm probably gonna get out of breath, but we're gonna do 10-second holds, okay? We're gonna do 5 on each side before we switch, okay? So tight tummy, good alignment, shoulders in a good spot, I'm engaged here. I'm gonna lift, hold for 10, squeeze that tush, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, leg comes down, hips go back, deep breath, repeat. 10, 9, 5, 2, 1, rest. Deep breath. If you need to go at a slower pace, of course do that. Lift and hold, here we go. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch that bottom shoulder. 2 more. Lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 1 more. Here we go. Tight tummy, shoulders in a good spot, and lift and hold. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Other side. Find that shoulder clock somewhere in the middle. Put that shoulder where it has the most support in the thoracic spine and the rib cage, a little squeeze. Good alignment, hips are bent, knees are bent. Here we go. Lift and hold. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. 2, 10. Squeeze your tush. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is good. I get my workout in too. Here we go. Lift and hold. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Big breath. Here we go. Here's 4. Lift and hold. Squeeze. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we've got one more before we switch exercises. Tight tummy, shoulder in line. Here we go. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right. Moving on. We're going to keep that heart rate up. A little bit of front plank variations. Let me keep the mat right where it is. Okay. As we are in a front plank, our goal is going to be to keep our butts down. You can do these from your elbows, or you can do them from your hands. We're going to add in a little oblique action. Make sure your butt is squeezed. So as you are doing a plank, and granted I can't see myself, but I don't want here, okay? And I don't want here, but we do want to squeeze your butt. Keep those thighs squeezed as well. That helps to engage the pelvic floor, which is the bottommost part of our core. Super, super important, especially with any kind of issues with incontinence, all kinds of stuff, okay? So as we're doing this, stay tight in here, stay tight in the legs, and we are gonna do, a couple of different things. We're gonna add in a little bit of scap work. So we're gonna go elbow, elbow, up, up. That will be one of them. We'll take little breaks. We're also gonna do knee to elbow, knee to elbow. So knee to elbow going forward, knee to elbow going to the side, knee to elbow going forward, knee to elbow going to the side. For those of you that are more advanced, if you want to bring that straight leg all the way out, go for it, okay? Our goal is going to be to do a few reps before we take a child's pose. Take breaks as you need it, okay? So here we go. We're going to start hands up, elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Let's do 4. 1. Tight tummy, nice and controlled. 2. 3. 4. Knee to elbow. 1. 2. 3. 4. Knee to the side. Here we go. 1. 2. Try to keep that booty down. 3. 1 more. 4. And child's pose. Okay, good. We're going to do one more sequence all together. More, I want you to know what you can do at home. There's one more challenge I want us to do, so we're going to move on. But after this short sequence, but I want you to know how you could string this together if you wanted to. Whew, here we go. All right. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand. We're just going to do 2 of each. Keep that booty tight. Knee to elbow. And knee to elbow going wide. Very good. Child's pose if you need it. Nice work. Okay. Last challenge, and this is just, these are my favorite. We're going to work on a hollow body hold or a hollow body plank. My background is gymnastics and diving, so a lot of the things that I do involve those body positions. And then they're a very nice transition into handstands. So, which we won't do today, but usually we would. As we go into a hollow body hold, feel free, okay, to keep this round position. It's a little bit of an unnatural position for a lot of us. We want to open. So instead, you are going to tuck your pelvis a bit, stay very, very tight, and keep those ribs down. So if you want to start in a bent position, or you can go into a pike position, I think boat pose is actually quite harder, but you can start going from a tuck or a pike and then lowering if you need to. So we are going to start. Our goal, and I'm going to kind of show you modifications of body position, but our goal would be to do 10 sets of 10-second holds, or working towards a full 1-minute hold. So for now, for the sake of time, I'm going to show you how to do them. We're going to do a few holds. We'll do a ladder, and then we will move on to our booty work and be finished. So I'm going to keep that tummy tight, start in a bent knee position, go all the way down, if you can, to a hollow body hold, squeezing. Back is flat, ribs are down, hands can be here or here, okay? 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Toes could be pointed or flaunted, flexed, whatever you prefer. I'm a pointer, okay? We're gonna do a ladder, so we're gonna go up, come right back down. 20 seconds, here we go. Down and hold. 15, keep that booty squeezed, legs are squeezed. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. One more 10-second hold, but you can kind of see how this would work. You really want to make this a whole body isometric contraction and isometric hold. If it hurts your back, bend the knees, go to a more modified position, or go to a dead bug position. Okay, definitely don't want any back pain in any of this. Okay, one last hold, here we go. 10, whole body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, let's warm up your butt. Hopefully your heart rate's up. We're gonna be done in about 4 minutes, okay? So we just have a little bit of a booty challenge and we are donezo. So your option for this would be to go to a wall and put your feet up on the wall. The floor works just as well, okay? So all we're gonna do is kind of warm up your butt, make sure your brain knows where your butt is. So when we get into our curtsy lunges, your brain has a good awareness of where your butt lives. So back stays flat, drive through your heels, squeeze the tush, give me 25 fast taps. Okay, doesn't need to be anything fancy. We're just trying to lessen the quad activation. Really squeeze your butt physically if you need to. Give it a poke, give it a squeeze. Make sure you know where your butt lives. I have no idea what number we're on. Give me 10 more. 3, 2, 1. Let's hold for a second. So we're holding, the back is relaxed, my quads are relaxed. I have a little hamstring activation, but really, really trying to get that booty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. So standing up on your mat for our curtsy lunges, okay? We're gonna have one leg in front, the other leg is gonna cross behind. So even though we don't usually curtsy here, okay, we're gonna think of this as we are bowing or curtsying to the queen. So we're just gonna, for balance sake, we're gonna stay in the same spot and just go down and up. As you get better at this, you can actually turn it into an alternating curtsy squat, curtsy lunge, and then even put Balasana in the middle. So I'll show you what that looks like. But let's start here with, most of my weight is on my front leg. My hips are as square as I can get. I'm gonna feel a lot of activation in this part of the butt, okay? Tall chest, down and up. So again, most of my weight is on this front leg. Let's do 10 of them. There's 4. Hopefully this doesn't hurt the knees. Think about going down and back with the hips. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna show you what it looks like from the side. We're gonna go to the other side. So I'm standing, leg is back and behind, hips are square. Watch where the hips go, try to keep that chest tall, just 10. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we were to alternate, step, down, step, down, okay? If we want to add a malasana in the middle, then squat, down, control, nice and slow, squat, down. Give me 5 more and we're done. There's 2. I guess we have to do 6 to make it even. 4, we got 1 more on each side. Last one here. And very good. So grab some water, grab your roller if you need to cool it down. Do what you need to do to roll. Otherwise, stay healthy, stay up with your yoga. Make sure you check out the Woodlands Yoga Studio Facebook Live page or check out the YouTube channel where you get a lot of free yoga. Thank you and namaste.